What's up, duelists? RBET Rulers is right around the corner, November 18th, the final end of the year invitational for all the best Edison players, those who have topped the RBET. And this entire week leading up to that tournament, I'm going to be playing meta decks, not only in the main videos, but also going to be playing some really creative stuff in the members only videos, so that you guys get a little bit of both stuff you might see in RBET Rulers. If you're a member, if you're not a member, you guys know the vibes. Today I'm going to be playing the Instant Fusion zombie list that everyone has been talking about, except this one's slightly different from the specific list that everyone's been talking about, because this one was sent to me by the GOAT Saberhoff, user on Discord Saberhoff. He sent me this list. He said he went 8-0 with it at an IRL tournament. Pretty based, I must say, pretty based. The list looks solid. It looks more up my alley with the cool little power wells. We got Instant Fusion to make Musician King or Reaper on the Nightmare for our Instant Arcanite, Black Rose, or just Tribute Fodder for our 2 Caius or our 2 Vanity's Fiend. I'm really excited to try this list out. It looks super fun. It looks like just a great way to synchro and combo our opponents to death. I don't know. Is there anything to say about this that hasn't already been said? I do like 2 Book of Life. I think that's kind of hype, getting to play double. I do think this list is lacking a tiny bit in starters. We're in an 8-man tournament, by the way. If you want to play in these 8-man tournament, join the really big Yu-Gi-Oh Discord in the description below. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. What was I talking about? 2 Book of Life. I think we have a little bit less starters than the usual zombie lists because we don't have Turtle. We only have the 2 Tomato. We don't really have multiples of Armageddonite or Greffer unless you're counting Rhoda. Dueling Book is just, it's giving me the hands today. It's giving me the hands. It won't let me click anything, but alas, here we are. This hand is really good. This hand does have access to that Arcanite Magician play. This hand also has access to Zombie Master, which can convert our Malicious, provided we get a weaker zombie in the graveyard. I am just going to set Torrential Tribute and pass. I've been considering the viability of Chaos Sorcerer in this deck. I think Chaos Sorcerer has a lot of application if you up the Instant Fusion count to 3 and maybe play like a Cyber Dragon or a Raikou or something. Here comes Prisma. I think I'm going to Torrential this. Oh, am I going to Torrential this? I could run it over with Zombie Master. Alright, fine. I'll let this resolve. Torrential's a little bit better. Okay. Dueling Book just lagging like crazy. The servers have been just brutal, unfortunately. Hopefully they're fixed by not this upcoming weekend, but the next one. Although technically it is the weekend for some of you guys. Multiple Piece Golem. That's going to send the big Piece Golem. Yeah, this is the danger of letting this happen, but I think saving the Torrential is probably better for the turn he goes for the Dark Calling, because that way he like burns all his resources and he just plays into my trap card. Okay, we're going to take 17. The lag is real. So much to plug, so much to talk about. Plug sound effect, interplug sound effect. It's lagging. What can I do? What can I say? No Fun has messaged me. I forget what he messaged me, but I'm not going to check it. I don't want to leak his text that he's been sending me, his quick draw text. Oh my god, the lag is so bad. This is definitely one of the worst parts about playing online, is that you ruin your immersion in the game the second the online client starts breaking, which is very often, apparently. Actually, it hasn't been as bad lately as it used to be, but the last 2 or 3 days in particular have been, it is lagging. I don't know, it's just eating my messages. Is it just, what's happening here? I have to refresh. Alright, let's refresh. Lost connection. Okay, well, obviously I've lost connection because, why? Obviously, I refreshed the page. Duh. Oh no. This is tough. I think we had a pretty good hand. Hopefully we don't get kicked here. Darn. This is unfortunate. I'm going to ping him on Discord and say, DB crashed for your boy. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. They couldn't handle the heat. They couldn't handle the 8-0 Saberhoff list. Oh, are we back? Are we back? I think we're back. Yes. Sorry. I got DC'd. Let's see if you... All good. Okay, cool. Back row, ooh, dangerous. If that's like a bottomless or a deep prison, that is going to be an issue for us. Actually, is it going to be an issue for us? I feel like we just go for the guy. I feel like we go for Arcanite and just pop both. Because if it's bottomless, he can't bottomless... I guess he could bottomless Musician King. That'd be annoying. I think I'm down to try and go for the Musician King play. This might not work out, but if he has to bottomless, he has to do it before the normal summon, and then we can just normal Zombie Master and run him over. So I feel pretty confident in this situation here. I'm just going to summon Arcanite in defense. Actually, can we go attack position? Is the 400 damage here good? I think the 400 damage here might end up mattering. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Arcanite, destroy the back row. It was a deep prison. Nice. Okay, so instant fusion immediately proving to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and attack for 400. He could have Gorge, but we have Mirror Force, so it's fine. He said deep prison, so I don't think he has the card that I think he has, which is Heavy Storm. But that being said, I'm still going to hold on to this Mirror Force. I'm looking to Torrential my opponent this turn, and then maybe set Mirror Force next turn, something like that. I don't know. That could be a mistake. Maybe I should have not put the Arcanite in attack position. We'll see. There's really only one way to find out. That's ugly. I guess we're just losing our Arcanite here. Yep. That is ugly. What's the plan now? What's the plan now? I only have one dark down. He has more back row? Ew. Great draw. Really, really good draw. He could have Caius, but we have Torrential, so I feel pretty insulated here. Goblin Zombie hitting the graveyard is going to give me an opportunity to turn on my Zombie Master, so pretty happy with all this. I hope right now what he does is he plays into Torrential Tribute. That would be the best case scenario, I think. That being said, we do risk dying if the monster summon is Caius and he has Dark Calling. I probably should have Torrentialed the Prisma just to keep him from sending. That was the biggest, I think, point this game, was Torrentialing Prisma. Because it also meant taking 17 against the deck that like chip shots you to death. I definitely played this a little bit more passively. And not really used to instant fusion costing 1,000 life points. Either way, we would still be dead to a Dark Calling after the Torrential resolves, because it's 4,500. Caius plus Big Piece is 4,500, so I don't really know what he's thinking about at this point. It might just be the DB lag. Here comes the Caius. There's no way this isn't Caius. It could also be Malicious Edge, yeah. But Dark Calling here is going to be game. Goblin Zombie's going to search. We're going to grab Plague. If he doesn't have Dark Calling, then we miraculously survived a turn somehow. Wow, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. We might get a reversal OTK here. I am going to Rhoda for Dark Greffer, pitch Mally Special Greffer, and then maybe that's not the right play. No, that's the right play. He could have his own Torrential. That would suck, but I'll take that risk. So we're going to summon this bad boy. Special summon Dark Arm Dragon. Priority activate. We got to banish Krevins here, sadly. But, okay, pop return. Yeah, this might be game. Hold up. So if we go Zombie Master, that's 35, 63, and then Malicious plus Plague is definitely game. So let's go Zombie Master. Activate. special summon, malicious, banish. We got really lucky he didn't have Dark Calling here. That was just incredibly lucky. That's pretty much it. We got lucky he didn't have Bottomless Torrential, and we got lucky he didn't have Solemn. And we also got, well, we would have won through Solemn, but we got very lucky he didn't have Bottomless Torrential. Actually, yeah, Bottomless Torrential, and then we got really lucky he didn't have Dark Calling, so we faded a lot of stuff that game. I don't know if we're going to be as lucky this game, so I think we need to consider our options a little bit more seriously. We need to still consider that Dark Calling is going to destroy us. I think Vanity's Fiend and Bottomless Trap Hole are like easy ones. I think Skill Drain has a lot of application versus specifically the Evil Hero Gaia, but it's pretty bad in general versus the Absolute Zero part of his game. That being said, man, I was just pretty happy with the way our deck kind of shaped up there. I think it just worked out really nicely. We drew everything we needed to. And we got to show off the power of the Dark Greph or OTK. I think some of the weaker cards in our list in this matchup are probably Return. This card feels like it just costs a lot of life points. It's still really good, but it just takes a little bit of time to set up. Ironically, I think Powerwell, because it costs life points, is a little bit weaker. I'm down to cut one of those. Although it is a way to spit out a Vanity's Fiend, we need to have a Grave set up first. So it's like the least successful way to spit out a Vanity's Fiend. And it also costs us life points, which is unfortunate. I think... all the monsters seem pretty necessary. Maybe we could slim a Caius. I don't think we're going to be Caiusing much this game. I think we're going to be mostly trying to lock up on Vanity's Fiend. I want to cut one more card, but I'm not really sure what it is. It's going to be... Might be... going second. That's tough. This is a really tough one. It might just be a Book of Life, although I do really like Book of Life versus his deck. Maybe because we're going second, we'll only side in one Bottomless. I don't know. This could be terrible. This could be good. I think minimal siding is definitely good in these types of decks where you have like a lot of moving pieces and you need a lot to get your combo going. Like, I'm grateful I didn't side out any zombies, basically, because like you look at this hand and it's like a very strong hand, but like I need an Armageddon Knight, or I need a zombie, or I need a Grepher. Like I need an engine card. You need a significant number of engine cards to be able to do what we did last game. And so siding out too many of those is going to give you these hands where you just have like too many sideboard cards that don't really amount to your game plan. This hand kind of sucks, but if we draw a zombie, like we're actually fucking in it. Like we're actually like kind of crushing. And if we draw our Krebins, we're actually kind of chilling too. The Phoenix Wing is good. The Heavy Storm is good. It's going to be able to clear Future Fusion plus another back row here. So I really can't complain about this. I'm going to go ahead and just take my 2-for-1. I want to set my Wind Blast. I don't want to have to deal with these two cards. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about the way that shaped up. Pass the turn. He didn't normal Stratos or anything, so, you know, he just didn't have a play there. Maybe he just doesn't have a play here as well, or if he does, it's going to get owned by Wind Blast, lock him up another turn. Fossil Dyna, I'll take this hit. I don't mind this sticking around for a couple of turns because it's light pressure, and then on top of that, it also stops him from committing too much to the field. And I might want to use this Wind Blast on a back row because I have brain control to deal with the Dyna, so I'm going to let that happen. Okay, this turn we found Mystic Tomato, which is really nice. Couple of options. We could go Mystic Tomato, run over the Dyna. If he has another Deep Prison or a Mirror Force, that does suck, but he has to have another Deep Prison or Mirror Force, and I'll make him have it. It's probably a Book of Moon. Okay, that's good. We got our card advantage. Pretty happy with that. Main phase 2, end phase. Whatever he wants to do from this position, I think his best play is probably sack for Caius, but he's going to get greedy and attack. We can then Wind Blast the Dyna and have a much better position. Oh, this is even better. This is even better. Chain Wind Blast, target Dyna. Now the Wind Blast isn't even a -1, it's a 2-for-2, and it sets him back a draw phase. We're going to be able to flip our Tomato. He can Miracle here, but the only thing that's really killing us is if he has another Dyna. As long as this Tomato gets face up in an attack position, we're kind of chilling and vibing. He does need to commit another monster to play. We do have Malicious in the graveyard, so if we were able to find a tuner, we can kind of go off this turn. He doesn't have a rock material. He could have it in hand besides the Dyna. The Dyna could be it. Oh, that is so tempting. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm going to keep it by the books. I'm going to flip this little guy, and I'm going to attack for 1,400. And then I'm going to pass the turn. We're not yet in a situation where we need to do this. He might be waiting. He might be sandbagging Miracle plus Dyna here, but if he is, okay. You know, you got us. Dark Calling. If he has a different rock besides the Dyna, this works. Yeah, he does. How unfortunate. Alright. Well, that's going to be bad. That is going to be bad. We're going to take 3,300 and then 1,200. Okay. This is legit. And now we draw the bottomless after all is said and done. How unfortunate. We may need to blind allure. And I need to hit Caius plus another dark or Vanity's Fiend plus another dark to have a chance. Right? If we don't hit, we're just dead, so we might as well do it without giving away too much information. So we'll draw 2. I did hit. So if I brain the Dark Gaia, I can't brain and blow it up, unfortunately. So I have to banish the Krebins because I have to tribute set Mali. Also, I drew the second Mali, so we'll go ahead and we'll brain the Dark Gaia. We actually did hit. That was very lucky. Attack the Dyna. He's gonna take a bajillion. Main phase 2. I can sack this little bitch. Set Mali. Set bottomless. And we are pretty far off from accomplishing anything, but we are also just not dead, which is an upside to the situation we were in before activating that allure. So very fortunate. Opponent's gonna go for the Miracle Fusion. I'm gonna allow that to resolve. Chain Typhoon. Pretty good stuff from the opponent, but again, we're not just dead yet. It's going to be the Ocean plus the Evil Hero to make Absolute Zero. This card does count as a hero for Absolute Zero. He takes any hero monster. But we do have some potential. Nope. That's going to be that. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty unhappy with the way the Vanity's Fiend and the Bottomless looked there, just because we drew them the turn after he went for his things. He also did have a pretty lucky sequence there, drawing the Typhoon and the Miracle Fusion in sequence. But, that being said, we are going first this game. We do have the initiative. We saw Fossil Dyna. Fossil Dyna makes me want Vanity's Fiend less and Skill Drain more. I think Skill Drain is going to be better for us than Vanity's Fiend. Yeah, I'm not really liking the heavy counts of tribute monsters with him having Dyna. Dyna makes it really difficult to support these. That being said, I do want to bring in the other Caius just because it seemed okay. Mind Crush is also interesting. It can stop him if he goes for E-Call, which is kind of cool. And we are going first, so having these two like as a way to interact with E-Call is really cool. That being said, Dust Shoot is really only there to supplement Mind Crush. It's not really there to enable anything else. Let's cut one of these cards to bring these guys in. Yeah, the Power Wheel kind of did just rot in my hand that game. That's why we sided out one. We did have an unfortunate draw with like no engine, but what can you do? I don't really see the point of Bottomless, but it just seems like a card that doesn't contribute to our OTKs. But it would have been okay that game as long as he didn't have the Typhoon as well, so I may even bring in the second one. I'm not really sure. Maybe we just do one drain. We'll bring in the second Caius going first, and I'll also bring in the Mind Crush going first, and I'll do that over the second Book of Life. Ironically looking a little bit like the original Welly Dad. Again, this is why the original Welly Dad list had 2 Armageddon and 2 Grepher. Just because, like, when you don't have starters, like we didn't in that last game, it's so unfortunately slow. This hand is good. Like, this hand is legitimately good. I think it's set Goblin Zombie, set Heavy Storm. He could have Dyna, but we can run it over with Armageddon Knight. So that's the game plan, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out what Armageddon Knight's going to send. Probably Malicious, and then we're probably going to search Plague. Either that or we're going to send Plague and search Malicious. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what we're doing. I might search Mizuki. Okay, here's Prisma. This is a very high value card for him. He's got the multiple piece golem. He's going to send the big piece golem. That's a very high value because it's just a straight up Armageddon Knight that has 1700 attack. He's not going to attack me. Respectable, but now we have Heavy Storm. He's got Solemn. That would have been really good on our Caius, but we do have Caius. Goblin 1, Caius 2. We will search for... I think getting Zombie Master is okay because it represents... So if I go 2400 now, next turn... I'll get Zombie Master. It just helps us like empty our normal summons in hand. I'll swing into Gorse Trag. I don't really care. Okay, maybe I do kind of care. Just now realizing how much I care. Who sets Solemn with Gores in hand? Alright. No, it's cool. Who sets Solemn turn 1 with Gores in hand? Who does that? Who does that? Oh my gosh. Sure. This is bad. I mean, this is game if he has Dark Calling. Oh, I gotta banish that shit. Okay. No, it's cool. I didn't... Well, it's been fun, folks. It's been a good time, but... I guess we just fucking lose. You know what the crazy part is if we had Solemned his Giant Tornado, we would have lost anyway. So, pretty crazy stuff. I'll give him a thumbs up and say, GG's. Well played. That last game, he had it all. So, that was tough. But sometimes it's going to happen, especially against this deck. This is what this deck is designed to do. He says, thanks, I opened the absolute nuts there. Yeah, it says, finally. LOL. Finally, I opened the nuts. Yeah, that's what this deck is designed to do. And yeah, worked out really well for him. And kind of based after getting smoked first round, the last 3 8-mans. Eventually, you will roll 6s. That's just, that's what happens. But yeah, no, this deck is sweet. His deck is sweet. The Instant Fusion Zombie deck, I'm not sure. We had a pretty good draw of the game one hand, but I'm not really sure I like the lower count of starters. I really do miss those Armageddon Knights and Dark Greffers, but that being said, I had Armageddon Knight the last game. I had the starters. Bottomless Trap Hole just didn't really do many favors. I'm thinking, like, with the speed of the metagame, is it possible we want something like Threatening Roar in this deck? Maybe. I'm not really sure. This deck does a lot when it has a couple of turns to set up and normal summon stuff, so maybe Threatening Roar could have a lot more potential than something like Bottomless Trap Hole. Just being chainable, just making it so you don't get OTK'd by some of the more aggressive decks in the format could be really interesting. But overall, yeah, I'm not really sure. I also didn't have to attack into Gores there. That was pretty stupid on my end, I will admit. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to force him to have it. And who set Solemn turn 1 with Gores in hand? That's a great question. Who does that? I don't know. some people, I guess, who think that their Solemn is going to get pro-heavied and they're going to get Caius and attack directly. It happens. It happens, you know? It happens. Anyway, I think we are going to try and catch his next match against yeah, let's get you guys some content. Oh, what do I think of the deck first? Yeah, let's do a little recap on the deck. What do I think of the deck? Underwhelmed, I guess, is what I was thinking. Underwhelmed. I felt like the trap cards didn't do it. And they should, you know, they should feel like they do it, you know, but they just didn't. I'm becoming more and more unimpressed with bottomless trap hole. Even Phoenix Wing there, just didn't do it because I just didn't have access to my engine. I think, hear me out, possibly playing a third instant fusion could be interesting. But extra deck space, obviously a concern. Breaking on instant fusions, obviously a concern. I don't know. There were moments in those games where I wish I had drawn an instant fusion, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe all of this is just a dream. Maybe I just got sacked, and I'm trying to see if there's like a way around it besides not attacking into that Gores. But even if I didn't attack into that Gores, he still has True Nade into 4700 Gaia, and then we're just like sitting there like with our bottomless Solemn in hand, looking at a 4700 monster, and what am I supposed to do, you know? Or 4800, I should say, if he banishes the Gores. So, yeah. And then we're kind of just getting cooked that game. I guess we have Armageddon, Send Plague, stack, make Greffer, but if he has any trap card, then, or sorry, not make Greffer, make Bryonic, and then if he has any trap card, he stops us. Why did I say make Greffer? What is on my mind right now? I have like this advanced form of brain rot going on right now. I think like losing, it does one of two things. It either tilts me or it gives me like brain rot where I'm just like, what just happened? Like PTSD. I'm getting like fucking flashbacks of like getting sacked by someone who just opened Gore's True Nade and set a Solemn Judgment, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you? I guess you can True Nade your Solemn, but then like, but why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't even know why you would do that. Maybe he would try to True Nade, bait my Solemn, Solemn my Solemn, and then if the Prisma sticks around, he can. I don't know. I do not know. We will watch his next game, which is going to be against someone, I think. Oh, their game probably isn't over yet. Let me see the other round that's happening. The other round that's happening is Oliver versus Lepa. And the winner of this plays against... Okay, neither of them have... There it is. The winner of this plays against the guy we just lost to. Sometimes that's Yu-Gi-Oh, you know? But we're still going to get you guys some action. We're still going to get you guys a video. Looks like we're in game 3. Lepa's playing, looks like Fairies. He has no cards. His opponents used Brain, Caius, and a Mizuki. How have you lost all of your cards? Oh, he has cards in hand. DB was just lagging. I was like, how does he have 0? I'm like, where did all his cards go? Like, oh, okay, but he does have cards. It's just DB was lagging. That was crazy lag. All right, Dust Shoot's going to activate. It's a pretty good Dust Shoot. Probably going to take a Christia here or a Herald. I'm assuming if you have 3 cards in hand and you just pass with the initiative and then got Dust Shooted, then it means there's a Christia or Herald or a Trag. Yeah, hand trap type thing. Might have been the only monster. It says Trag, Brain, Herald, Torrential. There, yep, that makes sense. Not setting the Torrential, kind of interesting. Why are we not setting it? So his hand is Brain, Herald, Torrential. Brain Herald's pretty good. Maybe he's just hoping the opponent commits and then he goes Brain Herald. I actually don't love Brain Control in this matchup against zombies. Although it is an out to... Oh, this isn't zombies. This is... What in the fuck is this? When this card you control is sent to the graveyard, look at the top card of your deck. Return that card to either the top or the bottom of your deck. So it's a tuner that scries 1. That's kind of cool. I've never read this card before. Is it good? I don't fucking know. So he drew a new back row. He's using it to conceal the Torrential. He might not have even set the torrential. He could have set the new one in the brain. He's going to take another 1,000. The torrential at least is threatening connect from summoning further monsters, but bleeding 1,000 every turn is not exactly where you want to be. Second set monster here, potential to be another floater, like a Sangan or a Goblin Zombie. New back row is not really doing Lepa any favors. Looks like he's drawn a lot of back row here. That brain Kaya's turn looked like it hurt, I think. What did he do? He brained one Dialk and then Kaya's the other one. What was the compulsory used on? Maybe the compulsory trade with the brain? I'm trying to understand how this game went so far. So the Mizuki attacked into the DD Warrior Lady, right? That got banished. The opponent hasn't taken 3,600. So that means both Dimensional Alchemists didn't connect directly. Why? What is 5,400? Like, what is that? How did he deal 2,600? Was he not activating the Alchemists before attacking? That's the only thing I can think of. But why would you not activate the Alchemist before attacking? Like, that just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to fossil dig what happened this game. Okay, D-Prison trades with the Dark Tinker. Goblin Zombie's going to attack the set monster. This is a terrible attack. Depending on what this is, it just basically gives Lepa Berry a tutor of anything. Could be the set Herald, though, so you might as well risk it, I guess. I don't really know. Lepa Berry's probably still thinking on the summon if he wants to torrential here or not. Or if he wants to banish. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. So he is going to banish the Goblin Zombie. I don't hate this play, but I also don't like it because you can just switch the Warrior Lady and run over the Goblin Zombie and get more damage. So, unless you're fearing the back row, which you could be, I guess he does have 2 back row here now. Heavy Storm is still not gone from either player. Yeah, I don't understand why the life total is where it's at. I also don't understand why we didn't wall up with the Warrior Lady. You could just sit on the Warrior Lady forever. He's going to have to flip a stronger monster to try and get through it. Yeah, now you just get poked to death. Yeah. This is not looking good. I think banishing the Goblin Zombie makes sense if you have a follow-up summon. If you don't have a follow-up summon, then this is just a silly play. The Warrior Lady walls the Goblin Zombie, force him to commit more, and then you can torrential or you can trade the Warrior Lady with the further commitment. As it stands, you're not using your resources appropriately. The torrential being known about means it's functionally dead. But either way, you want to get more out of your DD Warrior Lady than just a Goblin Zombie. At least force him to sack for Caius. At least force him to do something additional on top of it to try and clear the Warrior Lady. And that way you can get at least a 2-for-1 or a 2-for-2 with your torrential, you can get something out of it. That being said, the other set being Sangan is bad for him, so it would have been bad for him if he had waited and Caius happened, so I don't know. But it's obvious that the other set is another Goblin Zombie type effect, because what else would you be setting into a known torrential, right? Something you want to die. You don't want to commit further into something that you don't want to die. Right now, Connect has a card up. It is on his... He does have the initiative. It looks like he maybe lost a game. I don't really know what's happening here. I guess he's just attacking. Once again, these are bad attacks. You're just giving him tutors. If your opponent has a set monster and you attacking them just gives them deck thinning plus tutor plus whatever, it's just better not to attack and wait till you have a way to break. This matchup does turn into a stalemate a lot of the time, but yeah, I think just attacking here it's not ideal. I don't know what he's going to grab here. He's going to get another Shining Angel. I don't know if I agree with this. I feel like getting Dimensional Alchemist is better. That being said, this is a post-board game. It's possible he sided out the 3rd Dimensional Alchemist. So it's possible. But this is an instance where getting the 3rd Dimensional Alchemist is very good because you have Torrential set. And because your game plan is to fight through 2 back row. And what card fights through back row better than Dimensional Alchemist? And also complements Torrential better than Dimensional Alchemist. Here comes Normal Summon Shuten Doji. This card is stronger than the Shining Angel that's in play. But I don't know what this is going to do. It's going to place a Mizuki on top of his deck. Okay, interesting. So he's trying to create resource loops with Shuten Doji. Archfiend's Oath, Shuten Doji is a cool combination. It does cost life points. Makes it even sillier if Lepa Berry had known about this Archfiend's Oath, that he was not activating his Alchemist, that he was hitting Connect with. But here we are. Pretty solid combo here. I've never seen someone utilize Shootin' Doji plus Archfiend's Oath, but it is pretty cool. He's going to brain control here, taking Sanguine. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think it's ever correct to brain a Sanguine and then play like this into your opponent's 3-set cards. I don't think this is ever a good play. This seems terrible. I think the best play here is just like if you're going to do this, just hold your brain. Unless he has Mistworm and he's trying to go Mistworm Christia. That's the only thing that makes sense. He's viewing his extra deck now, probably realizing he doesn't have Mistworm. So, should have waited on the brain, maybe. Oh, he does? Hold up. Let him cook. Let him cook. Mistworm Christia. This might be a game shot. No. Let him cook. Let him cook. Right? All 3 back row. Sanguine is Chainlink 1. Mistworm is Chainlink 2. I believe. Yep. Dust Tornado Chainlink 3. You're not going to snipe one of the ones that's torrential, right? Oh, why would you snipe one of the ones that's torrential? You're dying this turn. You're dying this turn. Yeah, you want to snipe the one that's not torrential. What? Special Christia. Viewing graveyard. There are, in fact, 4 fairies. There's Christia. Christia adds back Dimensional Alchemist. Maybe this isn't game. Maybe he was supposed to flip return first. This is a very good position. Like, this is very good that this resolved. Yeah. He has 1 more activation of Archfiend. Literally not activating the Alchemist earlier lost him the game. Or not lost him the game, but gave his opponent an extra turn here. Where his opponent wouldn't have had that extra turn. Here comes Set, probably Mizuki, I'm assuming, because that's the only monster you know about. Set the 2 back row you know about. Pass the turn. This could be Mirror Force, this could be Deprison. Mind Control, oh my gosh, the greed is crazy. You don't know what these back row are. You don't know what they are, so you can't afford to swing Christia here. You probably have to switch Christia to defense. Why are we going battle phase here? It's Summon Alchemist every single day of the week. Torrential Tribune on summon. Okay. Starlight. That's why we were going battle phase. Okay. Let him cook. Summon the Alchemist, please. Summon the Alchemist. Just summon the Alchemist. Just summon it. Summon the Alchemist. It gets you the 4th fairy. It gets you add back your other Alchemist. Summon the other Alchemist. There's no reason not to. Okay, well, Mizuki can't attack, so this just loses its Deprison. Mirror Force, that's fine. I still would have summoned the Alchemist to get the 4th fairy and add back the other Alchemist, but you have Christia in play, I guess, so that's got to count for something, right? He can't Mizuki. He can't... he could... I don't know. Archfiend's Oath. Connect's going to say GG. Wow. Christia is broken. I can't believe he had that Mistworm. That makes it all better. The brain control, I don't know what I was talking about. And he had the road too. Very nice display here of the road plus brain control. I'm a fan of this road. I think that's a strong card. All right, moving on to the next match. Lepaberry versus /East. We're going to see Fairies versus Evil Hero. I will say I did kind of like the Shootin' Doji plus Archfiend Oath engine. I will also say that I recognize that both of those cards on their own are individually very bad. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe don't play them. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool that we got to see it, but it just seems bad, you know? It just seems like you have summoned a 1500 and activated a continuous spell to draw 1 card, when you could do neither of those and then just have 2 real cards in your hand. Does that make sense? And you also don't have to lose the life points. I just don't see the individual appeal of the two cards. Like, on their own, I don't see the appeal of whatever the one card is versus whatever the one card is. Here comes Stratos. Slash probably knows what Lepo's playing, but maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. He's going to search Prisma. He's going to attack the set monster. And that's going to be a Warrior Lady. That means Alchemist is now online. Stratos is banished too. That means Return is better for Slash East now, but Miracle Fusion... I guess he could still turn on Miracle Fusion with the Prisma. He is representing Gores here. Let's see if Lepaberry plays into it. He might. This matchup's very interesting. I think Fairies has a slight edge, but the kill potential from the other deck is very high. See, this game he's choosing to activate. Yeah, the Gorge was all too obvious here. There's no way he's just not setting anything after resolving Stratos for Prisma. It just doesn't make sense. All too obvious. Sets another back row, passes. But maybe Lepaberry is okay with this. Now, if you're Slash and you summon Prisma here, you want to priority activate the Prisma to play around Torrential Tribute. That being said, you are still getting 2 for 2'd by Torrential Tribute, which does feel kind of bad. Brain Control is interesting, because that means you have to summon a conversion into a potential sweeper. But it also might mean that... Yeah, I don't know about this. We're just tagging for 1,300. Strange. Yeah, this is a very committal play. You're getting nothing out of your Gores if that's Torrential. Chain Compulsory, target the Gores token. Yep. Compulsory should be banished here. I don't think it's going to matter, though. E-call. So he knows hand is Prisma plus one other. It looks like Lepaberry's main decking the compulsories. Not a fan, personally. I think siding them is better. I mained them at Nats, and I was like, they underperformed in the main. But sided in certain matchups, it's pretty good. And also when you're going first, they're a lot better than when you're going second. That being said, Lepaberry did go first. But his Turn 1 T-set was not very good into a Turn 1 Stratos. All things considered, he's kind of holding pretty nicely here. I think he might have a Starlight Road now, just because he's been willing to set 2. Either that or he's just like confident that his opponent doesn't have Heavy Storm. Here comes a swing. Sangan's going to search. He is playing Sangan. Is he playing the Mole? If you grab Mole here, you can Mole bounce Gores, which alleviates a lot of the pressure, but you still need a way to out the Caius. So I think you're probably just looking for something a little bit more sticky to try and find you a Christia. You could even search just an Alchemist here, or you could float into an Alchemist and then on your 4th Fairy grab back that Christia. So like one thing that could happen here, theoretically, is he can go summon Nova, crash, grab Alchemist, crash, take 3,100, add back Christia, special Christia, add back an Alchemist, and then Slash has to deal with a Christia with Brain Control being gone, which is actually really difficult for his deck to deal with once it's resolved and stuck. That being said, he could just have another Caius. So, either way though, if he has another Caius, it's better to go for the crash play because you force him to have the other Caius, whereas now if he has the other Caius, he just like cascades advantage versus you. I'm curious what the back row are. I'm pretty sure one of them at least is Torrential, or not Torrential. I'm pretty sure one of them is Starlight Road just because he hasn't done anything. He might be hanging back on a Mirror Force, but again, like, yeah, if he's hanging back on a Mirror Force, you should still swing with the Gores because he's still going to hang back with the Mirror Force until you go for the Dark Calling, most likely. He's going to attack Nova. Nova's going to float, grab Shining Angel. This gives him a cheaper Christia at least. He doesn't need to summon it in attack position here, but it's not really going to matter. I guess he's representing Honest by doing this. Here comes multiple back row from Slash East. That's going to be a pain in the ass to play through, especially if one of them's a Deep Prison. You can no longer crash, grab Alchemist, crash, and then add back Christia. And if one of them is like a Bottomless or a Solemn, it's also really annoying. Here comes Gale. That's a really interesting tech. I haven't seen a lot of people play this card in Fairies, but It has a similar function to Grand Mole in that you can search it off Sangan, and it's a way to answer resolved monsters. So, I'm a pretty big fan of this play. Let's see what he's doing. Is he going Black Rose? Nuke? Huh. Chain Bottomless? Okay. Interesting. That's gonna work. Why didn't he Typhoon first? There was no reason not to Typhoon first, just to make sure you're not getting roaded there or solemned. That seems a little silly. I think if you have Typhoon, you probably play that a little differently. You probably just blind Foon and then... Yeah, that seemed kind of stupid, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, that Black Rose nuke into nothing is... It's not great. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Here he just attacks for 17 and passes. It's not 6,700. It's only 65. Oh, he must have misinputted. It takes 17. Attack for 48. Does he have Gores? Imagine he has Gores here. No Gores, wow. Prisma, he's going to send Ocean with this Prisma. Reveal Terra Firma to turn on Miracle Fusion because 2 of the Dark Callings are gone. Yep. You no longer need to turn on the Dark Callings. You want to turn on Miracle at this point. I don't like that play. I don't really like that Black Rose play. Shining Angel dealt with the board on its own. I think you crash, go get Alchemist. Or you like Typhoon, you crash, you go get Alchemist. And then you crash, and then you special Christia. I don't really like the... Because the play he made was just like getting rid of his own defense. Which was bottomless Typhoon. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I think that that's better. You know, the crash line is better. And then main phase 2, okay, maybe it didn't work out. Maybe he has D-Prison in his... Like, you lose a 50-50 and he has D-Prison. You still have Gale. Like, you can summon Gale and have one of his monsters. And you still have Bottomless. And, like, he's still, like, scared of Mirror Force. He's still playing around Mirror Force. So I think, like... I think that Black Rose was pretty bad. Yeah. And not using the Typhoon there was for sure just a mistake. Like, outright just a mistake. So, not really sure about that one. That was a weird game. A lot of weird lines. Some stuff I personally wouldn't have done. But then again, he's playing a different list than I am. And I don't know what was in his hand. I don't. What in the fuck is this? It's a transition side deck. Fairies transition into Dimensional Fissure. What does this beat? How do you have a transition side? Huh? I guess he's still playing the Warrior Ladies. Maybe still the Honest. This explains what was stuck in his hand, I guess. Damn. Cooked. Well, that's fine. You still take your plus, because you get to bring back the Survivor. That's wild. That's crazy. What a really cool deck. I wonder what's in it. It seems really interesting to me. 15 cards in, 15 cards out. Because this isn't like a soft, like, you know, maybe he brought in some Banishers or something. This is like, no, we are playing Macro Monarchs post board. And you're dealing with it. This is actually funny because this Stratos is bad. Why are you chaining Bottomless? Why? Why are you spending Bottomless on this Stratos? Why? Just, it crashes with Survivor and then you get the Survivor back. Like, it's just, you're trading Bottomless for, okay, you play in a cool deck, but you're just throwing away cards playing it. Like, yeah, the deck is cool, but like, you gotta actually play it well, you know? Like, okay, Warrior Lady's a good follow-up here. This is like serious pressure. Attack with DD Survivor first. Yep. Okay, smart attack. 1500 next. Like he's waiting for Gores. Yeah, you just hit for 15 here. It really doesn't matter. Oh, I guess not. Maybe he's just using it to parry Gores, but this is stupid. You're just trading Warrior Lady for the Prisma when you normally wouldn't have been. You could have just summoned DD Survive. In this instance, if you're not going to attack with the Warrior Lady, you just set it. Just set it. Don't even summon it, because you summon it, you tell him what it is, and he's for sure going to trade his Prisma with it now. So this is a misplay, in my opinion. Yeah, no, this is absolutely a misplay. A couple of sequencing errors from Lepaberry here. Yeah, if you're not going to attack with Warrior Lady, there's really no reason to have it face up. Because, like, let's say he fucking... You attack for 18, he drops scores. The main phase 2, you set the Warrior Lady. Maybe he knows it's Warrior Lady, he still attacks it with the token anyway, but it's not like he's ever getting through your Survivor post D-Fissure. Yeah, this is like, you're just trading Warrior Lady with the worst card in his hand doing this. He is telegraphing Gores though, so it does make sense to wait on the attack. It just doesn't make sense to summon the Warrior Lady main phase 1 to like deter Gores or something like that. I don't really know. Because now you're just swinging anyway. You're just saying, fuck it, you don't have Gores, but you still don't know that. He might not have summoned it last turn because you had the Warrior Lady in face-up attack. Maybe he drew Mirror Force. I don't fucking know. It makes sense why he's maining the Road now, given his transition sideboard. Here comes Maul. This is not good for you. It's just buying you time. I guess it's not bad for you either. But an additional summon here is crushing, especially if there's a Road set. And then after, like, the siding situation, Lepaberry can just side back in all of the Fairy stuff and then just kind of beat Slash East with a Fairy deck. And Slash is forced to side in a bunch of Dust Tornadoes and shit. And he's going to die to a Christia. So that's really interesting. I must have missed this in the first match. Here comes Dialk. Dialk would be a bridge, but it's just useless under Fissure. He's going to trade with Mole. No real reason to give away info here. Makes sense. Here comes 1800 Direct. And you don't even mind running into Sweeper because DD Survivor floats. This card is really good when you have D-Fissure up. It's like one of the best cards in the game with D-Fissure up. Unironically. Without D-Fissure up, obviously, it's a Lajin. A worse Lajin, but... Summon Grandmole, trying to bounce the Survivor, but this... Oh, that's just going to eat a D-Prison. You're in a tough spot now. We going next. Wow. Transition sideboard working out really, really well from Lepaberry. I think the Smokescreen of this deck is really sick. I am really happy that I lost round 1, so I got to see this awesomeness on camera. That's really cool. My brain is like trying to take apart the puzzle and be like, how did he do that? How did he manage to take out all the fairy monsters? Because like I've messed with some like transition side fairy sideboards before, but it was like fairy side into Blackwings, and I was just like, there's just not 15 cards that you can side in and out that changes the deck entirely. Like, you have to leave in some number of the cards. There has to be some overlap in the engines, but I think he's kind of found it. He's found the Dialk and the DD Warrior Lady, they kind of overlap a little bit with the Dimensional Fissure engine, that's really smart. That's like genuinely really smart. I would not have thought that could overlap with a Macrocosmos anti-meta style deck. That's really, really cool. Edison is such a sick format, actually. That's really cool. All right, let's see what he does this game. Is he back on Fairies, or is he on the D-Fissure stuff? Very impressive stuff. All right. I think Smokescreen sideboarding is something that's very, very underexplored. Solid starter, but only if it hits. It does not. Looks like he is on some amount of the macro stuff post-board. Very interesting. 1800 damage is good beats. That's why I love Alchemist, because he beats for like a significant amount. He says, you don't have time to chill. All right, I'm going to deal 18, then 36, and that's 18 plus 18. And then guess what 36 plus 18 is? 54. Guess you didn't see that one coming. Here comes Giant Trunade. That's going to be a -1. This better be a worthwhile -1, though, because just using Giant Trunade to out a Dimensional Alchemist isn't spectacular. There could be an Honest here, too, which is really funny. Okay, no Honest. Imagine you get Honested by the Macrocosmos transition sideboard. I would be so mad. Oh my god, he's got Trag. Okay, but he has Smashing Ground. Okay, interesting. Kind of Maintaining board with the big piece. We know 3 of the cards are back row cards from Lepaberry here. So he has 2 potential counter monsters. Gale is good at countering big piece if he has the Gale. But if he doesn't have the Gale, then the big piece beatdowns are real. Like, this card is legitimately just a 2100 normal summon, which is strong. Like, that's about as good as it's going to get for a normal summon. He's going to attack for 21. If you have Deep Prison, you are forced to use it here. You absolutely have to Deep Prison this. If you have Mirror Force, it feels a little bit worse, but I'm still using it. This is not what you want to be using. Compulsory is not where you want to be. You want to have hard removal spells. I think the compulsories make even less sense knowing he's on the macro stuff. I think compulsory in general is better when your deck has a really strong engine, like single card engine. But compulsory when your deck is a 2-card engine is like really fragile and easy to disrupt. It's the same way I feel about compulsory versus Glads. Looks like it was lagging there a little bit. Future Fusion's going to get resolved versus the Macrocosmos post sideboard. And Slash East is really just dominating this game now. Because he's got Grave, he's got the big piece in hand to threaten board. He's got triple back row, he's got an absolute 0 looming. This is a very bad situation for Lepaberry. I don't think he's coming back from this one very easily. Just a set monster is not good. Okay. Rethinking the set monster. He knows if he sets the monster, that big piece golem's coming down. So, do you want to set that monster? Okay, not setting the monster tells me he has Torrential Tribute. He's waiting for the Torrential on the Absolute 0. So that's like information that Lepaberry gave by fumbling his cards there. If I'm Slash East, I'm now predicting Torrential Tribute and just... Wow, this is aggressive. Maybe he has Solemn. This is very, very aggressive. Does he have Solemn? No. That seems aggressive. I think I would have maybe not done that. I would have maybe waited. But I guess with Trunade gone, it's not getting much better. Sangan reinforces the idea that there's a Torrential Tribute set. But if Lepaberry does play Grand Mole, which I'm assuming he does, it is so weird to see Sangan with Macrocosmos in the same deck. I'll just say that much. If he plays Grand Mole, he might let this 0 connect. It's a little greedy to not Torrential the 0. But if you play Grand Mole, you might let it connect and then search Grand Mole and then try to use that. Looks like Slash East is recognizing the situation as well, and he's not giving him the Sangan search. Can we have the luxury? That's a lot of fucking back row. Holy shit. Now if you're Lepaberry, you're like in an awkward spot where you can't activate D-Fissure because it shuts off your own Sangan. And you can't really poke through this Absolute 0 without finding Grammel or Gale Natty. I guess TD Warrior Lady does it to some degree. This seems bad. Now it seems good. Like, straight up. Like, I'm super happy trading the Caius with the Solemn and the 2600. At least it got damage. Sangan's going to search for Mole, I'm assuming. Or Warrior Lady. If he doesn't play Mole, that seems like a complete oversight in deck building. Especially because of all the, like, Mole propaganda I've been putting out lately. But, yeah, it just seems like an oversight to not play Mole here. Mole is very good in both the Macrocosmos and Fairy deck, so not playing it just seems like a mistake. It's also a great way to deal with this fucker right here. It's one of the only cards that attacks into Absolute 0 at +1. Like, it's literally that and Machina Fortress. And I think those are the only 2 cards that attack over Absolute 0, or attack into Absolute 0 at +1. Every other card in the game at least trades for it. Or you have to play another card to set up. Like, if you have Revived King Hades, you have to have Book to switch it to defense, if that makes sense. There's the Mind Control. This is a great way to also get a +1 off the Absolute 0. Having the Mind Control set there as a bluff is very cute. And now, all of a sudden, Lepaberry's kind of peeling back his card advantage. He's now up cards for the first time in the game. I think maybe he was up earlier, but I don't remember. But he's back in the driver's seat. His opponent's low life total. He's got 7 cards to the opponent's 6. His opponent's back row's locked, so he can't even like commit further back row here. I think there are some issues with a lot of things that happen. Dust Tornado's just going to go in blind. Okay, it's going to hit a road. That makes a lot of sense as to why he was just committing the whole world. Second Dust Tornado, makes sense. He brought in the Dust Tornadoes. This is a big issue, right? Like, you're just switching on Dust Tornadoes. And you're not siding out enough back row. I feel like game 3, you just go back to Fairies and just side out a bunch of back row. And then he has these dead Dust Tornadoes that don't do anything against your Christia. But what do I know? All right, here comes Malicious Edge. Further turns on Miracle Fusion. This is going to be attack for 17. Does he have Trag or Gores? Trag is gone, right? Yeah, Trag is gone. So, and Gores wouldn't make sense in this configuration. So I think he has no stops. He might have Battle Faders. That might be something he's about. Chaos Sorcerer is live, surprisingly. Rhoda. That can grab DD Survivor, which is actually not bad. Because it just plays into Bottomless and D Prison, and you haven't seen any of those yet, so pretty safe. Let's see if that comes down. Yeah, no D Fissure, just fuck it, we ball. Summons DD Survivor. What have you got for this? Torrential Mirror Force, you're probably okay with that. Yeah, just swing. Yeah, you're probably okay with this. It does suck, but whatever, you know. What happens? We know he doesn't have any other back row, though, because he would have said it last turn. And if he had Rhoda, he would have played it last turn. DDR. That is so crazy unique. This is such a crazy deck. Bringing back Cyber Valley. Okay, just defend the life total a little bit. But you have to pitch a Ryza to do that? That really feels bad. You know, I am shocked. I'm shocked he didn't DDR the Cyber Valley first. And then try to go for Cyber Valley plus DD Survivor to play around Mirror Force. I guess it doesn't play around Torrential very well. Okay. But that's overall a pretty bad DDR for Lepaberry. He had to discard a very real and good card. And now he's back down at card advantage. So he's lost card advantage. He does have the initiative, but he does have to somehow find that card advantage again if he wants to fight an attrition fight. He also needs to find a way to just clear a 1700 monster, which he's kind of struggling with weirdly here, given that his deck probably plays 4 DD Survivor, 3 DD Warrior Lady, some amount of Dimensional Alchemist. Yeah, there's a DD Survivor. That's obviously going to walk now. Mirror Force is gone. There's, yeah, you just attack. D Prison, I mean, that motherfucker's just coming back. And Phase just brings back the Survivor, pass the turn. So, now your card advantage is back. Here comes Stratos Search. This can crash with Survivor. It's pretty good pressure. Actually, pretty bad situation if there's a Dark Calling. I think Dark Calling is game. What is this? Oh, he's searching a different card. Okay. Oh, I guess not. Does only target lol. Okay, Dark Calling, Miracle Fusion. Yeah, Dark Calling is just game. He just summons 4,700, and that's 64. So unless he has Battle Fader, he could have Battle Fader. Hear me out. He could have Battle Fader. That is a real card that could be in his deck. So the best way to play around Battle Fader is you have Guy attack first. You're going to take 2,900. And that's going to be game. GG's. Definitely fell apart a little bit here in the last game. I'm curious to see what was in his hand. But I think this one needs a little bit more time in the oven. I think it needs to be cooked a little bit more. I think the idea is there, where you have like a fairy deck game 1, and then you can slide into a macro deck game 2. But I think it just needs a little bit more time to cook. Really cool deck, though. Really, really cool deck. This deck, however, looks strong when you draw Trunade. I'll say that much. Trunade Solemn. Looks pretty good when you have Trunade Solemn. I'll just say it. I'll just say it. Maybe you should gold start for those cards. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Next match is going to be between Slash and the winner of the other side of the bracket, which we don't know who that is yet, I believe. Let me double check. Okay. It looks like it's Snickers versus Slash. Very fun. Very cool stuff. I love these 8-mans because, like, people try cool shit. Like, people aren't, like, they're not out here. Like, they do play the meta deck sometimes just to, like, test. But they also try stuff that's, like, not that I'm saying, like, fairy side into macro isn't jank. But there's a world in which it's not jank. You feel me? Like, there's a world in which that is a real deck. There's potential, I guess. People are trying shit with potential because it's, like, competitive enough where it's like, okay, I do want to win my match so I get to play another one. But it's also, like, so you're not just showing up with, like, fucking reptilians or some shit. But you're also, like, it's only an 8-man, right? So you're willing to try something a little bit more creative. And I think this is where Edison is at its best. Is, like, in that balance of, like, competitive and creative is when Edison is, like, the coolest and the most fun to watch. I think when people get, like, super hyper try hard to the point where they're, like, playing a 40 card, like, net deck and they're just having, like, a bad time, that's when it's, like, I don't know. That's when the format starts to suck a little bit more. That's when formats in general start to stagnate and suck a little more. Is when everyone's just like, yeah, this is my 40 card net deck from 2010 and I'm just going to play this forever. It's like, that's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Everyone's allowed to have their pet deck. I have my pet decks, right? But I feel like the creativity in the deck building is what makes Edison so much fun. And the fact that it's, like, encouraged almost at a competitive level because having that information advantage against your opponents is powerful, obviously, is a cool thing. Looks like we've got a Stratos versus Stratos mirror, but one of them is an evil Stratos, and one of them is a also evil Stratos. I guess we'll see. Stratos is kind of like this format's, like, really shitty Pot of Greed. He's gonna chain bottomless. I don't like this. Why are we doing that? Are we OTKing? Why would you set him up? What did you set here? Maybe he doesn't want to lose his snowman to the... Maybe he's thinking Stratos is going to search Alias, and Alias is going to run to the monster, and the set monster Snowman Eater. That's what I'm thinking. He's like, I don't want to waste my snowman pop on a Stratos. Maybe he's lagging, but he's definitely thinking for a really long time about what he's searching here. That means he has a lot of options. Maybe it's an evil guy mirror. That'd be kind of cool. That would be really interesting. The one evil guy deck that I really liked was Trainaldo's, the one with, like, Doom Caliber and that 3-star tuner that can't be destroyed by battle. I didn't see what he searched. I looked away from the screen for 5 seconds, and it, like, went super fast. Oh well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. There's a hero in his hand of some sort. Here's a Stratos from Slash. So he's going to be able to connect with his Stratos if he wants to attack into Gores, which I'm assuming if the set is Snowman Eater, you're pretty fine attacking into Gores here. Going to grab Prisma, that's his engine. We're going to connect for 18. And this 18 chip shot matters a lot because this deck doesn't do a great job of killing people. There's Trag. Kind of confirming my suspicions that this is probably Diva Hero or another Evil Hero deck. Again, I just missed what he searched, so I guess we'll find out. Main phase 2, pop with Snowman. Of course, wanted to save that Snowman pop so he could force the 1800 through. Makes sense. Passes the turn, but now you've got this liability in attack position. Kind of an issue. You do have a back row to sort of parry stuff, but... yeah, this deck looks very good when it draws Stratos. Or when it draws, like, Prisma and has an uncontested Prisma a couple turns in a row. But when it doesn't have that, it looks pretty bad. He must have searched for the evil guy. He's going to special summon this guy. Sacrifice it for something. Or synchro with it, maybe. Yeah, this looks like Diva Hero. I think Diva Hero is pretty good. I think it's just a really strong deck. It just has uniquely impactful cards. Cards that are just very uniquely strong. I'm like looking through my desk at like things that I have in here. I need to clean out my drawer. I have a tuning fork. Do you guys know what a tuning fork is? Here, I'll play you the sound of the tuning fork. You hear it? I don't know if you guys can hear that. I can't hear it because I'm holding it up to the mic, but yeah, I have a tuning fork on my desk. What other things do I have? Oh, I have little music boxes. We're kind of getting bored here. Oh, it's frogs. Okay, yeah. Let's delve into the music box. I collect music boxes. I like the way they sound. I like to mess with them too. Like, well, I work with audio, so they're a really cool signal to sample and then like slow down and do cool shit with it. That's why I have a bunch of different ones on my desk. What else I got on my desk? I'm like ADHD mode right now. I'm like just looking at other things, you know? I'm just fucking... What is this? This is a tuning whistle. That's fucking cool. Has he gone through all his frogs yet? No, he's still going. All right, back to the tuning whistle. What else do we have? We have... What note was that? E. Then we got A. Then we got G. Well, that one's based. Then we got D. That sounded cool. All right, Unifrog gonna pop the back row. He's still not through all the frogs though, so we're gonna keep looking at the items that I have collected here in my drawer. I have some dice. I have a couple D20s, a bunch of USBs. I have a Sharpie. I'm gonna write things on my skin. I have a tape measure for all of your measuring needs. I have a lighter, but I don't think the lighter has any lighter fluid. Let's see. Oh, it's still... Wow. It still sparks. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, I have one of those pins. You guys ever play Pokemon? The trading card game? They have like these special collections that come with pins. And they did a bunch of them with like the Mega Pokemon. I have a bunch of those like Mega Pokemon pins. What else have we got here? Some coins. Various Pokemon starter deck coins. How is this motherfucker not through all his frogs yet? What is going on? I would literally disappear from the I would walk away from the table if someone was doing it and taking this long. Straight up. No offense, N squared, if you're watching this, but just go a little quicker. Maybe it's DB lagging. Who knows? Maybe it's DB lagging. DB do be lagging, you know? It do be lagging. I have a bunch of business cards from random people. A couple from TwitchCon. Alright, the dupe block is now in play. And finally, we're seeing Prisma get summoned and activated. Alright, back to the game. That was a minute for every frog. I swear. What is he sending? Malicious Edge? Okay, makes the most sense. He just needs the Fiend. He maybe already has the Rock. Okay, but I just thought about mana. If he has set Torrential, I mean, he's just fine. He's just big chillin'. Hero Frog, interesting. Normally, when I've seen Hero Frog players play this game, they don't play Tragodia. They usually play like Triple Fader, because they're on that Fraser Smith vibe. But Tragodia is still a ridiculous card that wins games on its own, so don't count that boy out. I feel like I'm Trag-pilled. I feel like every deck should just play Trag. It's like this format's Snatch Steal. It's also like having a second mini Gores, which is really good. Like, Gores is insane. Trag is mini Gores, so it's insane. I feel like if my deck was playing Trag, although I don't love Trag in like the full combo like zombie decks, because it's just a non-engine card, it can still like kind of hard carry. It would have been pretty good for us in our game. I cannot lie. Here comes Caius, target the Prisma, chain torrential. Chain torrential, chain torrential. God, I just wanted to see a torrential happen there. That would have been the juiciest torrential of all time. Attacks, take 600. Ugh. Oh, this game's Jover. Yeah, this game is Jover. Looks like Square's going to be moving on. Opponent cannot formulate a battle phase with his battle phase dependent deck. So So this is not looking good for the Slash fans here. Not looking good. All right. Moving on. What is happening here? Are we summoning Treeborn Frog? Yes, we are. I love Treeborn Frog. My favorite rarity of Treeborn Frog is Dark Revelation Ultra. It just looks so clean. It looks so clean. I like the ulti, don't get me wrong, but the ulti doesn't look as like bright as the Dark Revelation Ultra. I feel like the Dark Revelation Ultra really does the card justice. Because of the nature of the brightness of the card, I feel like having that like kind of bright and faded OG holo is really nice. Swap Frog here is like just crushing. He can bounce the Caius, and yeah, this is bad. Don't attack. What are you attacking for? Now you're just taking 900. Bro, little bro, what are you doing? Now you're just taking 900. Now that's a liability, bro. Now you're dead. What? I guess he could still flip the snowman, but that 900 matters, bro. Oh, it's gonna matter, dude. It's gonna matter. He's gonna make a Dark Gaia, and he's gonna hit the Dupe Frog, and he's gonna hit the Treeborn, and it's gonna be over. Oh my god, why did he do that? Flip return plus Dark Calling wins. Yeah, he doesn't even need the rock. If he has return set and he has Dark Calling, oh my god. Oh my god, he ripped this one from the jaws of defeat. Why did he take that 900? That was so unsafe, dude. Okay, so this is 47. No, you have just Dark Gaia? You have just Dark Gaia attacking? You don't have another attacker? Please tell me you have return set. Please tell me. He's moving quick. He's got to have return. It switches to Treeborn too. You can change all. It changes to Treeborn too. Yes. Oh my gosh. Does he have it? He does have return. He's got to have return. It's the only thing that's why he's moving this quick. That's 4,600. That's 4,600. If he has return, that's Giant Trunade. Oh, that's not the return. He's flipping a giant. That's Giant Trunade. Where's your? You're flipping the wrong. What is it? Where's the return? There it is. The 900 didn't matter. Crazy. Fucking crazy, dude. That was an insane comeback. Ripped from the jaws of defeat. And notice, he did draw Trunade again. I'm just saying. Deck's pretty good when you draw Trunade. Just saying. That was a crazy comeback. That was really crazy. I feel like the 900 didn't matter because he had the big piece. I was thinking he would need to return first to get the Prisma to get to the big piece. But if you don't take the 900, then what is it? It's 1,600 plus 4,600, which is 62. And I guess he was at 62. So I guess it's exacts. So I guess it doesn't matter if you attack with the Swap Frog or not. If he has return plus Dark Calling, you're dead anyway. Because it's Prisma is 16 over the Treeborn, and yeah, the other guy is 46 over the Dupe Frog. Wow. Dupe Frog sitting in play, a liability. Not able to defend from those attacks using something like Battle Fade or some of those normal like Battle Phase stoppers. Maybe this matchup's bad for Frogs. Maybe the Dark Gaia deck just kind of runs it over. Slash East is also, he's kind of cooking. He had the big piece Golem in his hand too. For the additional insult to injury moment. That was a cool kill. Oh, no. This is, I think, part of the issue with the Hero Frog deck, in my opinion, is that it plays the fair game a lot worse than Frog Monarchs or Frog Burn or the other thing. You should just refresh. Yeah, I'll tell him to refresh. Okay, what was I talking about? I was talking about something. I lost it. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, you don't play the, spam a Monarch every turn game very well because you only have 4 Monarchs. I feel like That's the biggest downfall to the Frog Hero deck is how few monarchs you play. I feel like you need to like up the amount of monarchs. I don't know. I don't think it's possible to do that while having a consistent deck still, but I just think only 4 monarchs in your Treeborn Frog deck just feels like you're not like you're playing 10 cards to facilitate 3 Caius and 1 Ryza. It just doesn't feel like you need to play those 10 cards to facilitate that. You know, like you could just play Diva Hero because that deck also plays 3 Caius, and I think it facilitates it 3 Caius just as well as Frog Hero does. I think what Frog Hero needs is like a way to. This is a cool part of Frog Hero, playing the evil guy. I think it just needs more monarchs. I think you just need a higher density of Ryzas. Like I think playing like 3 Caius, 3 Ryza is probably just correct. Because then you can play the fair game and you can also play the unfair game. That being said, I don't know if the fair game would have stopped much that game. Because like he would have had to have Ryza to hit the snowman, then he just draws the snowman. I guess you instigate the Ryza lock if that happens. He would have had to have another monarch there, basically. Yeah, he's going through the frogs again. Maybe I need to go through my desk some more. What else I got? Maybe I'll sing you guys the song. What do I got in my desk that's fun, that makes noise? I've got another music box. I can play you guys a different music box. Hold up, I gotta find it. No, it's in the other room. Alright, that one was way quicker. He's just grave setting. Only went 1 Treeborn, probably has a second in hand, or is scared of Soul Release. Here comes Prisma Boy. It's going to reveal the Malicious Fiend. It's going to send Malicious Edge. This situation is much worse for Slash because his opponent's at 8,000. And this deck does not do a good job of killing from 8,000. That's all I'll say. Unless you have, like, the nuts. But even the nuts doesn't kill from 8,000, I don't think. Really. Maybe double calling might. Imagine if Duke Frog was like Legendary Fisherman where you could just attack directly. This deck would be so unplayable. I'd always wondered that. Like why Legendary Fishermen let you attack directly. But I guess it makes sense lore-wise. It just doesn't really make sense Dupe Frog-wise why they do block people. But I guess it makes sense lore-wise too because Dupe Frogs confuse people and they can't declare attacks. Maybe it makes sense. They're duping you. Lil bro, summon your Caius. What is going on? Like, your deck does 2 things. Bring back Treeborn or don't bring back Treeborn. And you didn't bring back Treeborn, so just pass. What is happening? Oh my gosh. I can't tell if it's lag or if it's just genuine like study. Genuine board study. Consideration. We're gonna normal Elemental Hero Ocean here. For what reason? Miracle? Okay, I guess this adds back the evil guy, right? Or does this only add back elemental heroes? No, it's any hero. Yeah, you can add back the evil guy. Get your nice little +1. But you're just giving him extra turns with Prisma. You're giving him extra grave setup. You're making the Dark Callings even more potent. That being said, if you have DD Crow, you're probably chilling. Oh. Never mind. I lied. It's Jover. It's Jover. It's just Jover. That's a Lightning Vortex. Here comes, at the very least, a chip shot. A decent sized chip shot. 1,500 plus 1,700. Do we have a Battle Fader? We have Trag. So, maybe not as decent. But 15 is connecting. Smashing Ground, hitting Trag. Lots of spell-based removal. Pretty good in this matchup, but still... You're looking at getting your board wrecked and you're at 0 cards, so... I don't know. Spent 3 cards to deal 1,500. Seems like a bad exchange at this point. You might as well just be playing like fucking Just Desserts, burning him for all his dupe frog shit and play. That's the way I see it, at least. Maybe Evil Hero side into burn. That's kind of based. Okay, enemy controller to take Ocean. And then Ocean can add back Ocean. Or Evil Guy, whichever one. That's a really punishing play. Oh my gosh. Slash is getting torn up for this. Yeah. This is bad. This is like genuinely bad. Treeborn can come back too if he wants it to. He says never done that before. Me neither, but I've done something similar. I can't remember what it was. There was like an effect that activates in the standby phase. I can't remember it. Heavy Storm. Didn't even bring back the Treeborn. He said, fuck it. I don't need that Treeborn. This is very, very, very bad for Slash. Oh, he's going to banish the Ocean and play? Okay. Banish Substitute, yeah. He has double swap in hand plus absolute 0. I think you pitch special swap. I would have brought back Treeborn here. I think it's stupid not to. You're just missing damage. Or normal Ocean works too, I guess. So this is going to be 13, 28. It's going to be 28 total. Alright. Ocean's gonna attack. Even if you have Gores, it's just trading with the 0 and you're down infinite cards and the Ocean starts looping. Yeah, this is bad. I'm thinking this one is Jover. That's embarrassingly weak here. This is kind of exactly what Frogs wants. They want you to Vortex the dupe and deal 1500 and discard a real card to do it. Slash does have draws that get him places, but it involves like literally ripping Dark Calling next turn and then Brain Control the turn after. And that's the only thing. That's literally the only sequence. I don't think there's another one. I guess Dark Calling keeps you in it. Miracle Fusion is interesting because you can make Gaia, and then Gaia can run over the 0 for 22, and that puts you in top deck mode. That's such a bad D%. Bro is 2 for 1 himself like 6 times this game. That's crazy. With the Vortex and with the Econ. Oh my god, what a Kaiku, dude. That's crazy. That shuts off everything, dude. That shuts off literally everything. If you don't draw an out, you're getting fucking hit with this shit. Oh, it is so Jover, dude. No, it's over. It's over, dude. It's so Jover, bro. You're not going to live 2 turns. Just concede. Just concede, bro. Just concede. He's sending outs to the Kaiku too, bro. No, not like this. Why are we not bringing back Treeborn? Why do we not want an extra monster in play? I don't fucking know. Alright, here comes 1800. That's going to banish 2 of these bad boys. Oh, this game's over. This game's just done. This game's just cooked. There's no draw here. There's literally no draw in the whole deck at this point. Because Kaiku locks out all of the fusion spells. And we're going next. And we're going next. Alright, bring out that Treeborn boy. Yeah, you're kind of forced to torrential this. But then he gets to bring back Treeborn, and then he just sacks it for a Monarch, and then you die. So, we're going next. And we're going next. Yeah, we're going next. We're going next. We're going next. We're going next. Bro, that was... He didn't draw Trunade. He didn't draw a single fusion spell. Even if he had ripped a fusion spell, he would have got murdered by that Kaiku. So now you know about Vanities and Kaiku, so you got to adjust accordingly. Duplock plus Kaiku seems disgusting in this matchup. That is not something I had considered as a possibility. Kaiku is also devastating because it runs over Dyna. So, yeah, he's just going to open you up and then summon a Kaiku. So you have to be, like, really careful about that. You can't just be, like, committing to the graveyard and, like, summoning Prisma, feeling safe. Because the Ghost Destroyer, bro. Alright. He does get to go first. Does he open Future Fusion? Does he open Solemn Judgment? What's he got? Set Snowman Pass? That's not ideal. That is definitely not ideal. That doesn't do anything. That just hits for 400. Bro, he has to control another frog. He has to control another frog. Why are you compulsing it? Oh my god, he doesn't know what Unifrog does. Imagine if you didn't have to control a frog, you would just play that card in every deck. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just take the 400. What? Oh, that is so fucking funny. That's the best a Unifrog's ever been. And now he's not setting more because the Unifrog... He's probably so fucking happy right now. He's probably like, yes. The Unifrog cleared a back row when he didn't control another frog, bro. That's so good. And now you're always attacking here to clear the snowman effect. I guess you don't have to attack. You could just bounce. Set a back row maybe. Depends on what back row you have, though. Yeah, if you're going to have to discard anyway, you might as well just trade the snowman with the swap effect. Even though, like, you could just leave the swap in play and not take the 900. I feel like, again, same as the first game, you don't need to take the 900. Slash clearly has not opened the nuts or anywhere near the nuts. He is playing so passively. What are you scared of, bro? I guess he has Gores, maybe? It's insane. And has been like, okay, I'm going to send Treeborn. But 5-head, I'm never going to use it. He has not used Treeborn more than he has used Treeborn. And I don't even know if that's been correct. It might have been correct. I don't know if it's been correct, though. It just feels like it hasn't been correct. For whatever reason, just feels like it's wrong. But maybe he just doesn't want to leave it in play as a liability. Huh. Back row is really interesting. Okay, no back row. We're not setting back row. Maybe we should have brought back the Treeborn. Maybe we're considering everything now. Okay, it's Unifrog poke time. Finally, the Unifrog is connecting. Tragodia gets summoned. Just kidding. No Trag. That'd be fire, though. Imagine. Okay. You got 7 cards. How are you dealing with a Unifrog? A little bit of chip. Can't complain about the chip. Now you can finally set your back row. I wonder if he's going to realize that Unifrog doesn't pop unless you control another frog at any point. Oh, we're just not setting back row. Okay, so word on the street is Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. That's what I'm thinking. It's the only thing that makes sense. That's why we're not committing. That's why we haven't activated anything. That's why we haven't summoned a Prisma. Yeah, that's what word on the street is. Are we going for Caius here? Or enemy controller? Or... Oh, it is Caius. Alright, banish the hero. Makes sense. Run over the snowman. Get your nice little +1. Now, what do you do if you're Slash? You have no graveyard. You have no back row. You have no hose. What do you do now? What do you do? Plus ratio. Bro, you have to activate Marionette Might and then Dark Calling away his Caius. Never mind, he has a back row now. I lied. He has back row now. That's crazy. He really said, fuck your back row. He has Trag! Alright, so he did have Trag. He could have summoned it probably when the Unifrog connected. I don't know why he didn't. Just seems like a lost opportunity. Summoning it here now is not great. Because now it just gets Caius, question mark? No. Okay, now we're comfortable setting back row because the back row is potentially Regeki Break. If it's Regeki Break, you kind of want to do it on the track before he gets a chance to activate and steal the Caius. Now switch track attack Caius is still fun. Ooh, this is committal. I don't understand that. Why are we spending our best burn spell for no damage? I guess 6,000 is already Dark Calling plus normal summon lethal range, but... I guess he didn't want to get Mirror Forced either. But you're going to have to play the Mirror Force eventually, right? He has to do something to turn on his Treeborn Frog. But he also doesn't have to do that because he just has 7 cards. Set monster. Just play a little bit more passively still. The back row could be anything still. It's not necessarily Mirror Force. Just because it didn't get used last turn doesn't mean it's Mirror Force. It could be something like Threatening Roar or Enemy Controller. Alright. Could still be Regeki Break too. I don't know. I think you can just swing. It might be too passive, but drawing cards is always going to favor the OTK deck over the Frog Hero deck. But the Frog Hero deck is looking like an OTK deck right now because Slash East is at 4,400 and multiple enemy controllers is all it'll take to seal it. I think he might be thinking about wanting to play his back row now. If it's a Regeki Break, you probably want to hit the back row because your game plan is just double steal. It was Mirror Force. Wow, and he's burning it here. I guess, yeah, alright. Makes sense. Just hold board. And a pass. This has been a very passively played game. Slash might be sandbagging his Torrential. It might be in play and he's just like waiting for a good moment. He could also just be dead to Econ Caius. There are a million combinations that win here. All of them deal with Brain or Econ. Yep. That's step 1. I think it's over. You can switch and then connect for 36 if you want. He's really thinking about this. I would just go for game. I don't fucking know, man. Oh, he's just lagging. Never mind. He's probably just lagging there. The pacing on this, very, very somber, very solemn. Maybe he has Solemn Judgment set because it's such solemn pacing. But if you have Solemn, you have to Solemn the enemy controller, right? I guess not. You don't have to Solemn that. Solemn is so bad when you're in this situation. He would have still had compulsory there. Man. Crazy. Crazy. Flips Dupe Frog. If you're going to flip Dupe Frog, why are you not summoning Treeborn 2? Yeah, hit for 36. He's got Substitute main 2. That's probably the only reason you would do this. This is taking forever. Like, what is going on? He has one card in play. Double sack. Set. Okay. If he had brought back Treeborn, he could have sacked the Duprog plus the Treeborn for his Malicious Fiend, or Malicious Edge. And he could have attacked with that on the Trag per game. Am I missing something? I guess you run into the back row, but like the back row isn't real. At least I don't think it's real. It's never real. I think Malicious Edge has 1900 defense, so it's going to wall out Stratos most likely. It could also be his own Trag, something like that. That works. I would laugh so hard if he died here. Oh, it has 1800 defense. I guess I was wrong. Imagine it's just Trag. Imagine it's Yamada Dragon. Kappa. It is Trag! Oh my god. That is brutal. Oh, that is brutal. He doesn't even clear it. He loses his battle phase. And now the Trag is in under Torrential Bottomless. Oh my god, it's Jover. It's Jover. He just switches the Trag, then attacks. Oh, genius tribute set Trag through the lag. Oh my gosh. It's Jover. Slash is realizing it now. He's like, fuck. It's Jover. Okay, he has Vortex. It's still Jover. It's still Jover. He had to discard Stratos. Yo, that is so bad. What the fuck? That is so fucking bad. Holy shit. You thought it was Jover. And this is a situation where it's just like, where's your Ryza? Dude hasn't used Treeborn the entire game. Chain Return? Oh, it's still Jover, bro. It's still Jover. You may have two monsters in play, but it is meaningless. You just made his Miracle Fusion lethal. Because you put a water into play. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. What are you thumb-upping? Just concede the game. It's over. What is he going to do? Attack the ocean? Like, bro, the game is over. There we go. GG's, that took way too long. Holy shit. That was a slow-ass game. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.